I was an auxiliary numerary in Mexico. I left several years ago, and upon hearing the Opus Dei woman's response to the newspaper regarding the article about the 3 former assistant numeraries, I say to the world, what a shame of a woman, stooping to tell vile lies that she doesn't even believe herself. The Opus Dei is defending itself because its empire of receiving money through the work of the assistants has gotten out of hand. Now that there are hardly any vocations for assistants, the numeraries will have to do domestic work themselves. Numeraries wouldn't dare to soil their hands even by mistake. They discriminate, abuse, exploit, and nullify the intellectual capacity of the assistant numeraries to become professionals like them, as if God hadn't given us a brain to pursue any profession to develop ourselves. And all because we come from the lowest class, and since we had no opportunity in life, they told us that God chose us from before we were born for the household jobs of the Opus. Why would they seek us out in the poorest places? What a coincidence. It was to deceive us into thinking that we could be someone in life. What a shame this numerary woman makes me feel, saying nothing but nonsense. Her words are merely a reflection of what they did not do, and will not do to help assistant numeraries, not even at the end of times. If this hypocritical woman really did what she says, I ask her, why are there no more vocations? Why did they close their boarding schools where they recruited labor to continue exploiting? Well, it's simple, because we have opened our eyes to the true perverse intention, for their sole benefit. Everything that numerary said is just to cover up the suffering of these 3 brave women who raised their voices in a prestigious newspaper. The article made them tremble in fear of being exposed to the whole world. I would like to take this opportunity to give my opinion on Guadalupe Ortiz de Landazuri, the first numerary who arrived in Mexico in 1950. Jose Maria sent her to Mexico to recruit girls, literally. They ended up deceiving their parents, telling them it was to help them, so they could have the opportunity to study in the boarding schools, where they would provide them with everything they needed. Nowadays, that's called trafficking women for degrading purposes. I am upset because the Pope, I don't know if it was Benedict XVI or John Paul II, proclaimed Guadalupe as venerable for what she did. Do you think this person deserves that title? Rather, she would deserve to be sent to prison for abusing the innocence, illusion, poverty, marginalization, vulnerability, and purity of thought of so many girls. They were looking for those of us who had not the slightest malice. A lie that steals dreams, steals lives. I believe that if there is divine justice, neither Guadalupe nor Chima should possibly be in heaven.